What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about the Winnipeg Jets, as they have now clinched a home playoff berth in the first round against the Colorado Avalanche. That's been confirmed. Pick up a win against the Seattle Kraken. Games 1 and 2 will be at home, and if it does go to 7, they will have the home game. So very exciting times here in Winnipeg. I didn't really anticipate them at the beginning of the year being, even that great of a team, never mind even, second in the Central. So this is, looking back at it now from October to now, really unbelievable. I don't really have like a set of stuff that I want to talk about here. I'm just going to kind of ramble on about how, I felt about this Jets season. I'm going to do like a proper player grades video and, a reflection on the season, later on, probably Friday. But right now, this is a lot of fun. I mean, I'm having a blast. I know everybody in the city is too. I can feel it. I don't know. I don't know if you guys feel it too, but it feels like there's something different in the air this season, and I don't know, it just feels magical. Right from the beginning of the year, I wasn't sure how this one was going to go. Of course, Hellebuyck got hurt right off the bat, and I was kind of bummed about that because, he's one of my favorite players. I was really excited to watch him play, and then boom, injured, and, obviously not going to see him this season. And then, 3 games into the year, Gabe Valeri goes down. He was our big pickup. There was, talk already about his back being an issue. I was worried that, we got another injury-prone player here. This isn't good. And then, of course, Mark Scheifele, Kyle Connor going down. It was really worrisome to me. But watching them persevere through it and push through it and still be one of the best teams in the NHL, it really made me think, I'm like, okay, you know what? We might have something here. The emergence of Gabe Valeri was massive. I mean, he's arguably one of the most important Jets on the team right now. I don't know. He's been everything and more that I could have imagined. He's everything that we wanted PLD to be, that he wasn't. He's just the full package, and I love Gabe Valeri, and I think that he's going to do some great things here in Winnipeg, and I do believe that he's going to be signing eventually long-term here in Winnipeg, so I'm super gassed about him. I think he's going to be a real good player and one of the best in franchise history. But it was just great to see. I mean, when Kyle Connor went down, we were like, okay, you know what, that's a big blow. Out 6 weeks, hopefully, the Jets can tread water until then, and then they ended up having their best stretch ever, right? Like, that's just kind of been the MO of this team this year. When stuff goes bad, it's not going to be the end of the world, right? Yeah, look, Kyle Connor's going to be out 6 weeks, next man up mentality. Nikolai Ehlers comes on to a line with Mark Scheifele and Gabe Valeri, and they're one of the most dominant lines in the NHL at that time, right? So it's just been really refreshing. And then the depth that this team has, the depth has been the story of the season, in my opinion. With what Kevin Cheveldayoff has been able to do, it has been absolutely incredible. Turning a team that was, ready for an extreme retool, a team that looked like they could have been ready even for a rebuild back in September before Mark Scheifele and Connor Hellebuyck had signed long-term deals. Kevin Cheveldayoff went to work, obviously acquiring Niederreiter, Nemesnikov, flipping PLD when it looked like his back was up against the wall for Velarde, Iafallo, Kapari, and a second-round pick that's going to be very high, in this upcoming draft. And not just being content and saying, you know what, we've liked the team that we have here, going into the trade deadline, acquiring Sean Monahan, who's been a pretty good fit here, going out and getting Tyler Toffoli, which has been a massive boost to the offense, and then adding depth in Colin Miller. Like, this is incredible handiwork by Kevin Cheveldayoff. He's done an absolutely spectacular job. I don't know if he'll win GM of the Year this year, but in my mind, I don't know who's had a better calendar year than Kevin Cheveldayoff. I've already made a video about it and, talked about how great of a job that he's done, but what a turnaround for Kevin. Last year, I was ready to put his head on a pike, and so was a lot of the fan base. I thought it was kind of disrespectful the way he came at us, just for wanting the team to be competent and competitive, and this year, he really went balls to the walls and really didn't have to pay a lot for it, but he has transformed this team into a legitimate Stanley Cup contender. And, a lot of how well this team is playing has to do with Kevin. There's extremely few weak links on this team, if any. I mean, even Logan Stanley, a guy that was really miserably bad the last couple of seasons, has turned into what looks like a pretty decent bottom pairing defenseman. I mean, I can't really complain about how he's played in the last 10 games or so. He's playing some of the best hockey he's ever played, bringing life into the arena at the home games, with fights. And yeah, maybe you don't want your guy to be fighting and off the ice for 5 minutes, but he has been bringing the physicality. He hasn't been a fake tough guy like I've accused him of being for the last couple of years. He actually looks like he's getting in there, throwing his weight around, and I don't know, I can respect it. Hats off to Logan Stanley for coming in and being a little bit of a boss out there for the last 10. It's been really refreshing. Watching Cole Peretti this season, I think he took big strides. Of course, he did have that slump that ended up actually taking himself out of the top 6, and now, it seems like he's the 13th forward. I see a lot of people being like, we have to trade Cole Peretti this offseason, imagine what we could get for him, kind of thing, and I think that's kind of silly. I do think that Cole's going to be a very good player on this team. I don't see why the Jets would trade Cole unless it's for a young under 25 defenseman that can play with Josh Morrissey, but we know that's not going to happen. Nobody is going to be, flipping defensemen right now. It's much harder to find a defenseman that can play on your top pair than a winger in your top 6. So we'll see what happens with Cole in the future. I think that he could even play, 2C down the line, but I have a lot of faith in Cole Peretti. I think he's played really good this year when he's been given the opportunity in the top 6. That is his game, and I don't know. Don't lose faith on Cole, guys. Just give him a break. I think that, he'll likely get some playoff action if there's injuries, and I think he's going to be fine, guys. I wouldn't worry about him too much. I think he's going to be very good. And what would I be doing if I'm not talking about Connor Hellebuyck, a guy that just signed up for 8 more years here in Winnipeg, the clear-cut Vezina favorite. You can pretty much give him the award now. Possible Jennings favorite. There is one more game to go here, and we'll know for sure, but him and Brossoit could be Jennings winners, and that would go a long way, I think, to Connor Hellebuck's, eventual Hall of Fame case as a goaltender in the league. He's going to pick up his second Vezina this year. A Jennings would be very nice to go with it. Obviously, a Stanley Cup would be as well. We'll see what happens going down the line here, but Connor Hellebuyck, the most deserving goaltender by far this year. I don't think anyone even holds a candle to him. Mr. Consistent. Brossoit as well has done a great job backing him up. An elite goaltending tandem, and a big reason why Winnipeg is where they are this season. I'm talking about all this stuff out loud, and I'm kind of realizing that the theme of perseverance kind of sums up this Jets season. I just talked about Connor Hellebuyck and him, coming off of a season where many doubted him, and now he's the clear-cut Vezina favorite. Now we look at guys like Logan Stanley, guy that was, basically the 8th defenseman at points this season, comes back and seems like he's won a spot in the bottom pairing there. He's played really well. He's persevered through adversity. We look at a guy like Gabe Valeri, who's dealt with injuries, throughout his young career, and he's persevered, and he's become one of the most important Winnipeg Jets on the team, and we just keep seeing this. Rick Bowness and his wife Judy have gone through some health scares this season. They've persevered. They've gotten back. They're healthy. They're doing great. And now, we look at this Jets team. The whole theme is perseverance. To just push through when times get tough, and man, is that important in the playoffs. The playoffs are going to be a bloodbath. There's going to be no easy series the whole way down. If Jets beat Colorado, they play Dallas in the next round, more than likely, right? So it is going to be very tough, but I believe that the Winnipeg Jets can persevere through. I'm all in on Winnipeg, and I think that they match up really good against Colorado. I'm not a big, Colorado guy. I don't really think that they're built for long-term success this season, and I think the Jets can beat them in a round. I'm going to, kind of temper my expectations on here. I do have way too much confidence in the Jets right now, and I'm tempted to say something crazy about the Colorado Jets series, but I'm going to hold off. I'm going to say that the Jets are going to win the series. I'm not going to tell you guys how many games I think they're going to, beat Colorado in, but I do think the Jets have a pretty good shot at winning the series. I think they match up pretty well against Colorado, and they've owned them really all season long. But that's just my thoughts on the Jets this season, looking back, reflecting, and, kind of realizing, all the adversity that this team went through, and, where they are, how they finished the season, and, where we were a year ago. So that's all I got today, guys. Leave a comment down below what you guys think about the Jets and their chances in the playoffs. I want to hear from you guys. Yeah, leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'll see you guys in the next one. Go Jets, go. Bye-bye.